Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers land rising center, former lottery pick in proposed trade. The Los Angeles Lakers have been repeatedly rebuffed by the Utah Jazz in their pursuit of 23-year-old center Walker Kessler, according to ESPN's Shams Charania. They've tried to get Walker Kessler many times, they have not been able to meet that steep price, Charania said on NBA Countdown before the Lakers took down Golden State Warriors 118-108 on Saturday, January 25. I'm sure they will keep trying. Hoops Tonight's Jason Timpf is pushing for a Kessler trade proposal that includes Colin Sexton, the 8th overall pick in 2018, to satisfy Anthony Davis's wish to play next to a center. Los Angeles Lakers receive Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton. Utah Jazz receive Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, removal of top 4 protection on 2027 first-round pick, lightly protected first-round pick, 2029 or 2031. Timpf added that the Lakers could add one of their 2 available second-round picks if the negotiations get tougher. It's worth noting that Timpf suggested the Lakers offer removal of the top 4 protection on the 2027 first-round pick they gave the Jazz as an attachment to offload Russell Westbrook's contract in 2023 in the deal that also landed them Vanderbilt. Will this offer move Jazz CEO Danny Ainge to part ways with the rising center? Adding Sexton, a former lottery pick, into the mix could push Ainge to also ask for the Lakers' other first-round pick. In December, Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype reported that the Jazz's asking price is at least 2 first-round picks. Teams gauging Kessler's availability in Utah have come away with the sense that it'll take at least 2 first-round picks to pry him from the Jazz, a high asking price in their eyes, Scotto wrote at the time. Ainge has every right to be greedy as Kessler is averaging 11.3 points on 73.3% field goal shooting, 11.4 rebounds, 2.4 blocks, and 1.3 assists, all best marks of his young NBA career. He ranks 7th in rebounding and 2nd in blocked shots per game. The 7-foot Kessler was the 22nd overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, whom the Jazz acquired from the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Rudy Gobert trade. Further complicating this trade idea from Timpf is Vanderbilt is viewed as a negative asset around the league. For the Lakers to include Vondo, they would probably have to put a first-round pick just as an attachment, Buha said on his podcast Buha's Block on January 20. He's got 3 more years left on his deal. He's a player who's offensively limited and has dealt with injuries. A lot of people view that as a very negative contract, so that's the complicating factor. Any team that would absorb Vanderbilt's remaining contract would pay him around $37 million in the next 3 years after this season. What gives the Lakers hope Vanderbilt could become a valuable trade chip or addition to this current roster is he looked solid in his return from a year-long layoff due to foot injury. Vanderbilt was impactful in the limited time he saw action during his season debut in the Lakers' 118-108 win over the Golden State Warriors on Saturday, January 25, at the start of their 6-game road trip. Vanderbilt finished with 2 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 steals across 12 minutes as he was active on the floor and provided the energy the Lakers lacked at times. More importantly, he was +6 during his brief stint under the minutes restriction as the Lakers eases him back into the rotation. They have only 2 weeks left to evaluate their current roster before the February 6 trade deadline. Massive trade proposal sees Lakers boost frontcourt and backcourt depth. The Los Angeles Lakers are expected to be one of the more active teams as the highly anticipated February 6 NBA trade deadline approaches. The NBA trade deadline is rarely disappointing, and many players are expected to be on the move this year. The Lakers are expected to be big players. They are arguably a move to 2 away from seriously competing for a title this season. LA has appeared to find its groove, as they've won 5 of their last 6 games. Lakers superstars LeBron James and Anthony Davis have been vocal about bolstering the roster, and this trade proposal sees LA do just that. In this hypothetical trade, LA returns to its familiar trade partner, the Brooklyn Nets, and acquires two of their young and promising players, guard Cameron Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe. Lakers receive, Cameron Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe. Nets receive, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Christain Wood, Cam Reddish, and a 2029 first-round pick. The Lakers lose one of their two highly coveted first-round picks, however, they add two young and impactful players who could help them immediately. The Lakers' championship window, if there is one, is incredibly small. LA cannot squander this opportunity with James and Davis on their side, and this move would help them not only right now but for years to come. Thomas and Sharpe, each 23 years old, have been limited in Brooklyn but have shown promise when out there, especially Thomas. Although Thomas has only played in 19 games this season, he has scored the heck out of the ball. He is averaging 24.7 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 0.7 steals while shooting 44.8% from the field and 37.5% from three in 32.3 minutes of action. As for Sharpe, he has been solid in his role, averaging 7.6 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, and 0.5 blocks while shooting 48% from the field in 24 games and 17.4 minutes of action. The Lakers are rumored to be hesitant to make a significant move as the trade deadline approaches. However, if they are serious about competing this season, they must take a big swing, and this trade would be a win-win for both sides. LA gets two players who help them right out of the gate and could help them for years to come. As for the Nets, they can start their rebuild and get a first-round pick that could help them out down the line. Latest report on potential De'Aaron Fox, Lakers trade. The Sacramento Kings have been expected to make a major move this season, and with less than 2 weeks ahead of the February 6 trade deadline, talks will continue to heat up. The Kings have been linked to many standout forwards as they look to upgrade their wing depth, and have reportedly even been sending out a package of Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and draft capital to teams in trade talks. One interesting facet ahead of the trade deadline has been the availability of star point guard De'Aaron Fox, who would be eligible for a supermax contract extension this offseason if he earns All-NBA honors. It would be no surprise if opposing teams are calling the Kings front office to check in on Fox, but it ultimately comes down to whether Sacramento is looking to keep him or capitalize on his trade value. The Athletic's Jovan Buha reports that there is uncertainty around Fox's availability, in regards to the Los Angeles Lakers being a potential suitor. There's a lot of uncertainty about how available he actually is, Buha said. There's some uncertainty about would they even trade him to the Lakers, their bitter rival. It is very unlikely the Kings ship out Fox at the trade deadline, especially to their division rival. Fox is in an odd slump as he deals with a couple of lingering injuries. The Kings are 3-3 in their last 6 games, and Fox is averaging just 16 points on 31.8% shooting in that span. Fox has been a turning point for the Sacramento franchise since getting drafted in 2017, becoming one of the top players in Kings history. While eventually, it may be time to move on, the Kings are certainly better off with their star point guard leading the way. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of De'Aaron Fox? Leave your opinion in the comments.